All right. Hello, knockouts. Tonya Tko here. And I'm so excited. I wanted to get, oh, I can't give it away. Let me get closer to the camera. All right. I wanted you all to just guess what I got. Guess. So, welcome in, everyone. Happy New Year's Eve. Happy Old Year's Night. I hope everybody is doing well. I don't want to keep you in suspense for too long, but a little bit of suspense is good. A little bit of suspense is good. I'll give you guys a chance to come on. Oop, I don't want to turn it too close. Let me come closer. Oh, goodness. I am back in New York, everyone. And I'm excited. Hey, Al. Hey. I'm excited. I've learned so many lessons, from my trip and just about life, etc. And so without further ado, okay, all right, I'm not gonna keep you all in suspense. Hey everybody, let me get the camera positioned. Oh, see, the steering wheel is turned in such a way that I cannot. All right, you know what? Let me see. This is not. I wish that this was like my car in California, but it's not. So I'm going to. You guys know about this. You know about my beautiful scarf that I got. Don't be nervous, Elle. You're so silly. Oh, so you all know about my beautiful scarf that I love so much that I got. But now look. Now look. Now look. Hold on. You know what? I don't want you to see just yet. Let me get it together. Let me get it together. Look. I'm a frappuccino, y'all. Look. Okay. This is the exact hat that I wanted. I am in Yonkers right now. So I tried all of these stores in New York. Apparently it's not a common hat. So yes, I got the pom-pom on top. I have the things to cover the ears. And so I am really excited. Look at me. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. So it was not easy. First of all, I had to get the item number because most stores were sold out of it. I tried around the Bronx. There are two Forever 21s in the Bronx. There's one in Bay Plaza. There's one on Broadway in the Bronx. And then I started calling different ones. It's New Year's Eve, so a lot of them weren't answering. Most of them were sold out or low on stock. The one up here in Yonkers, they had two in inventory, but they weren't answering the phone or the computer said they had two in inventory. One of the one on Broadway in the Bronx checked in their computers. It was so crazy because in order to get the item number, a store has to have it. I couldn't, it was crazy. It was crazy. So I left the item number at home because remember I had it when I was in Virginia. Long story short, the store in Yonkers said that they had two in inventory, which is, it could be code word for none. So I came up here to Yonkers. I was calling them. Nobody was answering. I came up to Yonkers and then I went in. My spirit guides guided me to the exact shelf. This was the last one, the absolute last one. And so I just grabbed it off the shelf. It didn't even have the tag on it or nothing. It had this thing that's still on it, but no tag. It was crazy. But I finally got it. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. And this is exactly what I wanted. It looks so cute. And let me see if I could tie this around. Okay, and it has little pom-poms down there. I don't want to put my lipstick. I'll put this under here and pull that. All right, so now my head is warm. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Hey, Elle, you're sweet, too. Hey, Regal. Hi, everybody. Deborah, Quiet Storm, Thickums. Yes, I found my hat, and I'm really excited. And now my head is warm. It's raining in New York. But it's too warm for the rain to be snow, but it's too cold for the rain to be comfortable. So I'm out here New Year's Eve trying to figure out if I'm going to do anything tonight. Hey, Lady Muff. Hey, Davita. Hey, Chrissy. Welcome. So inside Forever 21, they had a bunch of like New Year's type of clothes, and I tried some of them on, but it made me look like a sausage with like the string tied around it. You know how like the sausage has those like the links between it? I looked like a link sausage. It was squeezing me, squeezing my fat and everything. It did not look good. So I'm like, oh, I don't really have anything to wear for New Year's. I still don't have a coat. So I'm out here with no coat on. So I don't know. I'm thinking that I'm probably going to have a quiet evening at home today, just reveling. I've learned so many lessons from my trip, lessons about really just what it takes to move forward in life and be happy. Those are one of the lessons that I learned from my trip out of town. And and I realized that the way that I deal with conflict and setbacks, that not everybody deals with it in the same way, and that some people continue to perpetuate the misery inside of their lives by one, not taking responsibility for how we ended up in the situations that we ended up in, two, looking to other people for you know what, I'm going to gather my notes together and I'm going to do a whole video on it. I'm so excited about my hat, but I'm going to do a video on it. I've learned some tremendous lessons. Life does not owe us anything. And I think that somewhere in childhood we start getting programmed for lack of gratitude, lack of boundaries, bullying, and all of these other sorts of things. Because children can bully. They can bully their parents, they can bully their relatives, they can bully adults. And I want to do video series on these. We'll talk about it in the video that I'll do, because you guys know, I'm sure you guys noticed that when I went out of town, that the only videos that I made were inside of the car. We'll talk about that in my next video. We'll talk about that, and what happened. Yeah, we'll talk about it, but because I want to be very deliberate with my words and my thoughts, because how do I put it? My words, I've gotten to the point in the largeness and popularity of my channel that people that I interact with in real life are, how do I put this? Watching my videos or looking at my videos and making summations about them. So I want to be very deliberate with my words, because I'm not going to be bullied into not making videos, and everything that I say in my videos is how I truly feel, so nonetheless, I didn't want the air of the video to become heavier. I just wanted to show you guys my hat. How is everybody doing? What is everyone doing for New Year's Eve? I'm really excited. When I said, remember I told you I wanted this hat, but I felt like it may have been a little too small. I feel like this part should be down here, but I feel like it should be down here, but it's like up here. But we'll see. If I need to tighten it up a little in the back, I will. But I'm happy that you all had, for the people who are catching me first time live, I'm happy that you all are catching me live. What is everybody doing for New Year's? I'm going to get out of here at the 10-minute mark, so we have about 2 more minutes of this video. And then I'm going to head back indoors. And hey, Red Mars. And Elle, you think it is cute, right? It is. I think it is cute. Thank you. You're so funny. Damarie, you're so funny. Is it Damarie or Damari? Holla back. So Regal staying home and relaxing. Okay, Quiet Storm is moving on Wednesday. Elle loves me, peace and blessings. And Quiet Storm is spending New Year's Eve with their daughter and packing. Okay, packing to move. And somebody's speaking to me in a language I do not read. So Dracula is like Sabatorori Anuli. I'm not going to say that out loud because I don't know what chant that is and what it's calling forward from the beyond. So Elle is moving with her 2 little boys. Damari. So it's Damari then. Damari. Okay, so not Damarie. It could be Damarie. It could be Damarie. I'm not sure. All right. Well, listen, we're coming upon the 10-minute mark, so I'm going to get out of here. Honey loves my hat. Okay, so Quiet Storm says that 2019, I'd the mean drinks lots. Okay, so drink lots. Okay. All right. I didn't know what it was calling forward from the beyond. I start chanting out some stuff in my videos, and then the next thing you know. So listen, there's 63 people on this broadcast. Thumbs up the video. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Make sure that you thumbs up the video and make sure that you have a happy New Year's. Thank you, Ivana. This is the hat that I wanted, except I'm going to have to tighten it up in the back so that my two ear things fall over my ears like that. Because that's what I want. I want it to fall over my ears. And I'm hungry. I'm going to head back indoors. As you see, it's raining. It's cold. Okay, Damari. Okay, thank you, Damari. Michelle is going to be in church. And so Quiet Storm is saying this chat's algorithm is bad. Why do you say that? Do you see more people on there or not? Red Mars loves the hat. Thank you. I love it too, and it's super warm. It has the cushion underneath. It is perfect. It is exactly what I wanted. So I'm happy, and I'm happy that I stayed diligent. It doesn't feel better to me to have worked so hard to get the hat. So I have trained myself. I don't know if you all remember, but there was a New Year's Day 4 years ago. It was 4 years ago, right before I left to go to Central and South America to write my books, and I was looking for some grapes. And I didn't know this at the time, but apparently grapes are something that's used for Spanish something another fruits. So they have fruits and grapes. They're used for some sort of Spanish something another, where like New Year's Day they have like offerings of fruits, etc. Right? And so it took me hours walking miles to find the grapes, and I finally found a store that had grapes. And it was then that I had this epiphany, because I refused to feel a greater sense of satisfaction after working very hard to find the grapes. Hey, Cheryl. Hey, Nick Lou. Thank you. I look like a snow bunny. How cute. Thank you. And I don't know what they were making with the grapes, but I realized then, and I had an epiphany, that I'm not going to train myself to feel greater satisfaction after going through arduous pain to find something. So I'm not going to be like, yes, I worked so hard, finally. No, I decided that I'm going to train myself to have gratitude and appreciation when things come easy. All right. So that I don't have to train my guides and guardian angels for me to only appreciate things when I'm dragged across the asphalt in order to get it. So I've trained myself to appreciate when things are easy, when it comes smoothly, because otherwise you train yourself to just always have a hard time. When will I get a Rolex watch? I'm not really interested in Rolex. I'm not really interested in Rolex. There's some things that I like, but Rolex is just not one of them. Like you guys see me. I have like this bag is like 14 years old or something like that. It's made out of really good leather. The handles is like, you can tell like real from fake. Like the handles are like, they're beat up, but they're well stitched. This thing has been all over the world with me. And like some of the little symbols are like fading out, like over here. Like you see some of the symbols are fading out. That's my arm when I'm walking. So I like quality. I like quality purses. I like leather quality shoes with leather soles. I like things that are quality, that are going to last. And so like Rolex, I'm not really into watches. I don't even wear cheap watches. I don't, because years when I was in my 20s, I read The Millionaire Next Door, and in The Millionaire Next Door book, they were like, once you get to a certain level of success, you don't wear a watch because you don't have any place that you're rushing to be. So I'm like, so ever since I was in my 20s, I stopped wearing watches. And so Free is saying they turn it into wine and turn up. Oh, I guess that's right. And Quiet Storm is saying, I like shoes and clothing I can afford. Hey, everybody, thumbs up the video, everyone who's on here. You know what? Even if I can afford it, I'm not necessarily into what it is that I can quote unquote afford. I appreciate investing in something that's going to last and endure. Like I saw some coats that were in there, but the coats felt really cheap. And I was like, I'm not really into that. Like this hat, you can see it's stitched. It's really high quality. It has the little fur, not fur, because I don't believe in tortured soles on my clothing. But So yeah. So let me see what you all were saying. And Vovili is speaking a complete different language in the comments. And so Avona is saying, what do you think about dating marriage-minded men who are in college? You know, okay, so I'm going to give you my honest opinion on this right now. So please be prepared for my honesty, because sometimes people ask and they don't really want the honesty. They want to hear what they want to hear. But I know Ivana or Avona. You have to tell me, is it Vana or Vona? I know that you're going to appreciate the truth. When it comes to dating young men, period, you really have to take extra time to vetting them. We talked about this in the cheating video, where I talked about how men have these biological urges to mate with many different women. The younger the man is now, so also remember, we talked about also men wanting papers and documentation, right? And so one of the things that we have to do with anybody that we date is vet them. You have to vet the people that you date. Really take time to really get to know them, see what their intentions are, and especially if they are in a high risk category. Young men are high risk when it comes to faithfulness and when it comes to true preparedness for long-term committed monogamous relationship. So men from other countries who don't have papers are also high risk. So whenever you date a person who is high risk, bisexual men can also be high risk. So, it's like whenever you date a person who is high risk, you just have to take extra precautions to vet that person. So, yes, I have met men who are in their 20s who are marriage minded, but you also have to take into account like their biological urgings. So like we are spirits in a human experience, but not only are we in a human experience, we are also in human bodies. So even though we have like these big higher selves, we're still governed by our hormones. We're governed by the laws of the physical world. And so you just have to kind of just take some time to just really pay attention. And also, the younger the man is that you date, prepare yourself for possible infidelity. And if you're okay with that, then more power to you. The older and more settled and more traveled, learned, and experienced the man is, the less likely he is to cheat. The younger he is and the less experiences he's had, the more likely he is to, at some point, no matter, and listen, I'm telling you this as a woman who has traversed through her 20s, traversed through her 30s, and is now entering into the next realm. So the younger he is, the more, the more you're gonna have to really just kind of watch. Okay, so Honey wants to know where the party is at. So Honey only sees 5 thumbs up. I see 22. See, I see 61. There were 74 people on a little while ago. Now there's 66. I mean, but we're just having a casual conversation. So and it's New Year's Eve. I don't expect too many people to be on. Hey, Monica, how are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome into the broadcast. As you see, I got the hats. Hey, Chevette. Hey, everybody. Welcome in. So those are my tips. I don't know where the party is tonight. And I don't really, there's a part of me that if I could go to like a really chilled loft, like in like a penthouse in Manhattan with some people that I know, and it just be like a really chill time with people who are making money moves, I would really love that. And so Avona is saying, I don't know if you said it's Avona or Ivana, so let me know in the comments. And so you're saying right advice, thank you, and I'm also being watchful for the man he is growing into and what type of provider he will become. Yeah. Ivana. Okay. Ivana. Okay, Ivana. I hope you're saying Ivana because that could be Vone as well. But I'll just say Ivana. Okay, Ivana. All right. So yeah, so listen, it's difficult when you're younger. It's difficult when you're younger and you're dating men in their 20s. I never really men in their 20s, I just never really, there was just something about them that was just like, like in all my life, I probably dated just a couple of men in their 20s.
it just many of them just didn't resonate with me. They were really lower vibrational, really kind of on this roving, sex mongering escapade, and so I was just like, oh. So yeah. And so Honey is saying in the Barbados they have those little huts, nice huts to party in. You know, I wonder if in the Barbados, I wonder if they have Old Year's Night. Because when I spent New Year's in Nevis many years ago, they had Old Year's Night and it was a really big deal. And they had like a big bonfire and fireworks and it was really nice. And then the hurricane came through and kind of messed up the Four Seasons that was there. And Chevette is saying men in their 20s are silly. Sandy is saying men in their 20s are out for fun. And 123 Creations is saying men mature slower than us. So if they in their 20s, they probably really only 13. No, you know what? Listen, 123, you're on the money about that, because men in their 20s, or men in general, their rate of, oh, you know what? If I pull the hat down lower, the things go back lower. So I'm happy about that. And so Ivana's saying, I agree. Most are like that. Seems to act different. It's been 4 years. And Sakina saying, glad you found your mocha frappe hat. Yes, I'm happy. And Nick Lewis saying, have another dialogue on Africans, men, and Black American women. What other conversation do I not need to have about that? So everybody, thumbs up the video. Thumbs up for my hat. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thank you, Sandy Key. So what do you feel was left unsaid in the video that I made? Nick, holla back and let me know. What do you feel was left unsaid? So now we have about 80 people on. So welcome in, everyone. We're just having a quick little New Year's chat. Your girl is hungry. My stomach is growling. And I'm probably going to stay in for New Year's. I'm really not interested in the rain. I don't really have a jacket per se. And it's getting to the end of my trip now, so that I'm like, do I even really need a jacket, a winter jacket? Because I'm going to be going back. Because I almost bought a white coat, but the coat didn't look well made enough. Like, I really love well made items, you know. And so, yes, welcome in, everyone. Welcome. And so, yeah, so any other things you guys want to discuss before I jump out of here? You know what? Cheryl, pizza tonight would be good. Would you ever be in a temporary long distance relationship for like a year? You know what? It really depends. I would listen to my spirit guides on that one. Yes, I want an Olivia Pope coat, but I know Olivia Pope would not wear some cheap materials. And Chevette likes my hat. And Free Miss Soul is saying, fine arse Jamaican ting. You like ting? Are we talking about the drink or are we talking about me? Because I'm not Jamaican. And I wonder, is ting made in Jamaica? Because I know they have bottling companies all over the world. But yeah, so in terms of long distance, I would listen to my spirit guides on that one, because, you know, and then also there has to be a plan for when we're going to come together. Like, there has to be a concrete plan. And there also needs to be lots of, you know, I personally, at this stage, I would not be in a committed long distance relationship. I could possibly be in a long distance relationship where we were okay with still going out with other people, because a long distance relationship, first of all, as a woman, you probably only have what, 20, I don't know. You have a certain amount of time to be able to find your mate, have children, and all that other stuff. A year, because, you know, waiting for a person for a year, and then also taking the time to get to know them after that year. And then if it doesn't work out, the amount of time that it takes to get over that relationship. So I would still continue to keep my options open at this stage in my life, because at this stage, I don't have years to waste. But if I was in my early 20s, I could possibly do that, but I would listen to my spirit guides on that. So, Evil Kitty just had Chinese. Oh, wait, who just had Chinese? No, Sandy had Chinese. Evil Kitty had, I love the whole look. Thank you. I love it too. And Little Natural is saying, hey, Tonya, did you see that crazy Alan on Ready for Love? The man was still lying on the... You know what? I need to go and watch. I watched the last show, but I need to do my follow-up videos. And so Honey is saying, who you give couple of 2018, Jay and Beyonce or Will and Jada, for stepping up and talking about the hardships of marriage? You know, for the one part, oh, 123 Creations, you're so sweet. Thank you. 123 Creations just sent, wow, Damari just sent $10. 123 Creations just sent $10. Thank you. Damari is saying, just a token of appreciation, your videos have encouraged and inspired me. Thank you. And so if we're going to talk about Will and Jada, this is the one thing that I'll say as an outsider. I'll say this as an outsider, right? One, we don't know what's really going on behind the scenes. We don't know what's really happening. And Taha is saying, salam, kiss me. Well, salam to you too. And happy New Year's, everyone. And why do I think other races marry at younger ages? You know, and we'll talk about that. I need to write down all of these. Ivana, you know, I just planned on coming out and doing a quick video. Now we've been on here for 30 minutes. You asking all the good questions. In terms of other people's relationships, I don't really bank on other people's relationships because you don't really know what's going on behind the scenes. However, if I had to talk about who is presenting a more functional view to the public of what a functional, healthy relationship looks like, I would have to go with Will and Jada. Only because they have publicly come out and spoken about setting boundaries, about avoiding and averting verbal abuse in a relationship, as well as creating the type of relationship that you want, honoring your partner. And what did I gather from that? Because you guys know how I feel about not having verbal abuse in your relationship. And also, this is the last thing that I wanted to say. The third point that I wanted to say. Changing your patterns. Because you guys know, as a relationship expert and a self-love specialist, you and a certified clinical hypnotherapist, you know I'm all about changing those patterns because we come up with patterns and habits that come from our early ages. And we perpetuate those. Jada Pinkett Smith, or Jada Pinkett, was raised in a household with physical abuse. And when her and Will first got together, she attempted to curse at him. And he pulled her aside and had a private one-on-one conversation with her. And he set a very firm boundary and let her know that if that's the way she's going to speak, then they don't need to be with one another. Because he was also raised in an abuse. I think he had abuse in his household as well. Whether it was verbal or physical, I'm not exactly sure at this moment, so don't quote me on that. But he set the firm boundary in the beginning of their relationship, and they really got the opportunity to grow from there, from what it is that they're saying. So if I had to choose between Beyonce and Jay-Z, I would definitely choose, J-Bay, and what are we calling, do we have any names for Will and, are we calling them Wilja or Jadwill? What are we calling them? I would choose Jadwill. I would choose Jadwill, because... And so, functional is a magnificent word. All right. And so, Sandy's saying, I miss your in-depth analysis videos on varied topics. Can you do like a follow-up video to the previous vids you've given us? You have to tell me which vids, because I don't know which vids we may be talking about. Oh, and why do I think other races marry at younger ages? You know, I think that the people, and it's not so much other races. In America, people marry earlier. People other than African Americans marry earlier. People in households where marriage is the expectation. Like Latinos marry really early. And so remember, Black is the race. There are Black Latinos who marry early. There are Black Africans who marry early. I personally am not a fan of early marriages because I've seen the numbers and the statistics. The earlier you marry, the more likely you are to head towards divorce. So let's see. And so Taha is saying, mouth per karma, screen kiss me. I will block you. I can screen block you. That's what I can do. You're not going to objectify me on my broadcast. Fall back. Fall back, son. Remember, listen, fall back.
All right. So 123 is saying yes, set the boundary. He looks so sexy. He was not playing those games. So you ladies love the man who's firm with you, not gonna take your junk. And so Sandy is saying relationship advice for women, and Junk is saying Africans marry young a lot. And Sandy's saying your old videos you did in your garage. I did not do any videos in a garage. Are you talking about in my production loft? And so, what is a good age to get married at, and how many years is a good length of time to date before getting engaged or married? You know, they say 5 years before children is the number that produces the best results. And they also say once you get out of your 20s, that those marriages have a greater chance of lasting longer. So, marriages in your 30s. But you know, anybody can be the exception to the rule. You know, just really take your time and vet. Because honestly, at this stage, when it comes to me and getting married, I'm not going to have 5 years to get to know the person before we jump right in. We're going to have to meet and jump right in. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have those years. So I'm not going to, you know what I'm saying? If you have the years, take your time, because we make lifelong decisions to be with people. We make lifelong decisions to be with people off of off of not really. And you know what? And then also quality over quantity. You can really take the time to get to know people. One of the things that I notice with people is one of the things that I notice with people is that sometimes they don't want to hear the truth. You know, it's like you ask people questions, but you don't really want to hear their answers. You can't really get to know a person like that. Like if like you have to find out what a person's fetish, fantasy, sexual kinks are, what their past is like. There's so many of us that will not accept the truth. Let's say you were dating a person who said that they had been with a person of the same sex. So if if they don't tell you the truth, they have the opportunity to stay with you longer. If they do tell you the truth, are you willing to, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because I can understand why a person would have apprehension about being with a person who has or continues to engage in high risk activity. However, if lying to you is what will help continue the relationship, do you really get to know that person? You know what I mean? So one of the things is people telling the truth. The other thing is us being able to hear the truth. You know, so I don't know, because we each have to make decisions for ourselves. I don't know. I really don't know on that note, because there's a lot of, when it comes to personal relationships, that we have to really listen to our inner guidings. I'll say this, right? There are some relationships that may not be the best functional relationships, but we're meant to get into those relationships to produce children that may not have been born had we not gotten into those relationships. You know, so I'm just going to say, really listen to your inner guiding. Your guides and guardian angels are going to lead you towards where it is that you want to be. Because remember when I talked to you all about my displacement, it's like I needed to go through the displacement to get to where it is that I am now internally. So let's see. Assalamu alaikum, friends. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too. Cheryl, you know, I have a life partner out there somewhere. Cheryl is asking, am I looking to become married, or can I accept being single? You know, I have a life partner who is out there. There were some things that I needed to do and some things that he needed to do in order for us to draw closer to one another. And we're closer to one another now than we have been in the past. Like I can feel this person's energy, you know. So yeah, so I know that that person is out there and available for me. And so I just have to continue to navigate. And I know that you know, I'll say this, like back when, after I had my near death experience, and I saw that Ivana had sent me, what is more important to you, compatibility and trust versus super deep connection with a lack of trust?
Who wants a lack of trust? Oh, gracious. Come on now, Ivana. Oh, my tag. I still haven't cut that off. I meant to do that today. Ivana, what you talking about? And Cheryl is saying, I'm asking because I'm married and we are strangers. I never want to see this man again. I will never engage in another relationship again. I'm glad I kicked him out of my house. You know, Cheryl, in the very beginning of this video, we talked about moving forward and creating our lives how we want our lives to be. Right now, you are speaking in affirmation. You are speaking in affirmation that you will never be in another relationship again. If that's what you choose for your life, I respect your choice. However, you are stating out loud and you are putting your stamp on it energetically, and you are giving the command to your guides and guardian angels that you will never be in another relationship again. And so when we start navigating through the world, we have to, like, you have promises that you've made from when you were 6, 7 years old that you may not remember. And now you're in your 20s, 30s, or 40s, and you're making this attestment that you will never be in another relationship. And so that is what you're stating, and that's going to become your reality. And there will be things that will happen after you have forgotten that you've said this that will facilitate you being alone. And or being single. So if that's what you want, I respect your decision. I just don't feel that that's what you really want. You know, my intuition states that you're just hurt and that you haven't really done the work on yourself. So let me scroll back. And Ivana is saying, I just know you talked about not being able to expect or trust loyalty from a man. No. You know, but please rewind the video and see what it is that I said. That's not what I said, Ivana. I'm talking about a man who is in his early 20s. That there's a greater likelihood that that unfaithfulness is going to be a part of your relationship, either from you or from him. You know, human beings are not naturally monogamous, and the younger you are when you try to couple up, the more difficult it is. You know, you listen. And 123 is saying, I feel like it's easier for men to get in a relationship than us women, because as women we are waiting to be chosen. It's annoying as hell. If I was a man, I know I would be married with kids. You know what? I'll say this, right? I'll say this. Men, how do I put this? You know, we have a very different opinion of men than what may actually be reality. There are a lot of men who are suffering from low, damaged, and retroverted self-esteem, okay? There are a lot of men who have not done the internal work, and because of what it is that we think of as men, they may never do the internal work. And far too many men don't love themselves enough to find a partner who is right for them. So women have, and we're getting all deep on this broadcast, which I did not expect to do, but that's cool. If you guys, you know what, whatever it is that we talked about during this video, if you want a specific video geared towards that, please write it in the comments after the video publishes, because once the video is no longer live, the live chat is then in some other area, blah, blah, blah. So far too many men are using looks, age, and beauty, and other very superficial things as ways to choose their mate. So they may, like, if you were a man, you most likely would be in a long-term relationship already with children, because the qualifications that you're looking for is merely somebody who seems pleasant during the dating process and who likes sex or is good looking or young. They're not really vetting their mates. And so they end up in these lifelong shackles. How many of you know men who are miserable, who are dying inside every time they gotta go home because they chose a partner, and now they're stuck and trapped up with all these kids with this partner, and they can't stand entering their house at night? You know? So hey, Andrew, welcome in, everyone. Welcome. So Cheryl is saying everyone loves you, Tonya TKO. That's cool because I love everyone. And so wait, Volvi is saying was 20 once, wanted milkmaids from the country. Exactly. So that's all they wanted, someone with some milk jugs that look fertile and are pretty and agreeable. And then they choosing this person as their lifelong mate. And Yolanda's saying, Miss Tonya, I love your videos. I would really like to talk to you directly. I live in ATL and would like to arrange for you to come here and do some works. Please advise. Yeah, you know what? If you write to me at bookings at TonyaTKO.com, BOOKINGS, bookings at TonyaTKO.com. You can send me a letter and we'll talk about that because 2019 is the year that I'm doing my cross-country tour. So I'm going to be going to a lot of different cities to be doing these day seminars with you all to help you pull back the layers to what's getting in the way of your own self-love. And I wish that, you know what? I wish that more men would come out to these events to do some healing. You know, far too many men are, how do I put this? Yeah, you know, I'm going to come to Atlanta. Atlanta is one of the cities. So it's Atlanta, Miami, Chicago. Probably have to come back to the DMV area again. New York, Los Angeles. Probably have to go down I probably have to go up to San Francisco, Los Angeles, and then San Diego because California is a really big thing. Also Texas. But I'm going to choose my tour. I just need you all to be available to take surveys to see which cities that I'm going to go to. So I'm going to go to the ones who are voted on the most. So listen, like we were saying about men, you know, far too many men are not admitting that they have issues. They're not coming to these events. They're not reading books. They're not doing the work. And most of the people who are doing the work are the women. But it's like all of these male gurus are spending all of their time focusing on women. And I'm like, once these women get all shiny and what do you call that? What do you buffed? I can't think of the word, but what do you call it? Polished. Once these women get all shiny and polished and healed up on the inside, who are they going to be coupled with if the men are not also doing the work? You know, and so it's like, and Kenya is saying too many brothers walking around with repressed emotion comes out as aggression and miscommunication. Yes. Yes. You know what, Sandy? London is one of the places that I'm going to go. I'm going to London and I'm going to Toronto. I'm also going to go to Birmingham once I get there. Once I get to England, I'm going to go to Birmingham as well. So I'm definitely coming to London, but I need somebody to help me find a location in London. I think I found a place, but you know, I need help. I need help from somebody on the ground in London. And then also I need to be able to sell more tickets because like, you know, I don't know how I'm going to do it, you know, because so remember how I was talking about really creating your life, how you want your life to be. So there's two different things. So coming to London, I need to be able to sell enough tickets or books or whatever to be able to pay for the trip. Cause it's like, I used to do meetups in the past where I wanted everybody to be able to afford it. But once I set the price so low, the price couldn't cover the rental space. So if I come to London, I need to be able to cover the cost of the ticket, hotel, and the place that we're renting. So it's like, I don't know. The cost of entry is going to be higher. I'm not exactly sure how to do it. So Cheryl is saying book some radio stations in New York to promote yourself, Tonya. Oh, Cheryl, yes. You know what? Let me call up my radio station and book them right now. Hello? Radio station, is this you? I want to book and come on your show. Oh, yes. Tonya TKO. Cheryl from YouTube said it. Oh, you're going to put me on? Oh, you know what? I'll tell her. Cheryl. They said okay. They say okay. Listen, you know what? It's like it's easier said than done. So yes, of course, I would love to book some radio, but it's like, oh, how? How do I do it? How do I do it? I just, you know what? Information. This is why I said, if I could go to a New Year's Eve party tonight with some people making money moves, and so that would be one thing. And Honey is saying you can get a sponsor for London. Okay. And Eli is saying, see, that wasn't so hard. No, it wasn't hard at all. It was so easy. But you know what? I don't know how to do it. If I knew how to do it, I would have done it already. But I think I'm ready at this point. But I don't know. Make yourself the 1%. Do what no one else will do. Show up, keep showing up until they let you in. Okay, Cheryl, so you speaking some catchphrases. All right. So just go there? Go where? To London or to the radio stations? So, okay, do you have the address? Which radio stations? Let's talk about it. Which radio stations? Are we talking about V103? Are we talking about 107.5 Kiss FM? I heard they went off the air. Are we talking about 90, or is it 107.5 Kiss, or is it 98.7 Kiss? I don't know which one it is. And so Cheryl is saying, I will get them for you, the radio stations in New York. And she's like, no, you are Tonya TKO. All right, you know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm going to be in New York for a week more. And so, would you get a manager? And so Los Angeles is KJLH. You know what? That's what I need to do. Let's all collaborate together and let's figure out how to get this done. Because 2019 is the year of the knockout. So Power 105, The Breakfast Club, you guys want me to go sit down with Charlemagne the Rapist? Okay. I hear you. I hear you. So, all right. So you know what we'll do? This is what we'll do. We're going to get a list of the radio stations that I should appear on. We're going to get a list of the radio stations. We're going to find out their address. And we're going to find out the name of the production. What's the name of what do you call that person? It's a production something. The person who books the people for on the air. We're going to find out the names. We're going to get the telephone numbers. And then I'll start stalking them. All right. Okay, hold on. Let me block this person because this person is being very disruptive. The person talking about kissing them. Oh, I did the wrong thing. I deleted the message, but I meant to block the person. Here we go. Okay, you know what? I can put the user in timeout. So the user is in timeout right now. So Taha, Masood, you're in timeout. If you come back out with the foolishness you've been talking, the next step is being blocked. So, all right. Okay, so Kenya is saying most impactful for you to be a regular or reoccurring guest. Okay, well, you know what? Yes. And so Kenya is saying probably have to start with offsite events that deal with relationships, love, then position yourself. Okay, so when you say offsite events, what are we talking about there? What are we talking about? And so there's 91 people on the broadcast right now. Make sure that you thumbs up the video, and then public speaking. Okay. All right. Well, you know what? I'm volunteering this year and doing some and Andrew is saying haven't heard from you, my friend. Oh. And Ivana is saying, do you think open relationships are more practical or hurt the family foundation? I think that people have to do what's right for them in their relationship. For some people, open relationships work for them. For other people, it doesn't. So I think people have to really dig inside and figure out what they want. Ivana, what do you want? It doesn't sound like you want an open relationship. It sounds like you want a committed relationship with trust and loyalty, but you also want it with a very young man who you know has a higher likelihood of there being infidelity in a relationship, but still, you still have to be true to yourself. Okay, so listen, so this is what we got. So I'm going to go on the radio.
I really need to get my books out. I really need to get my books out. So Honey is saying, Tanya, I got you. We can rent a small area, host an open session from city to city. We got this. Okay. And so Alicia is saying, do any of these referral folks have actual inside leads or networkable contacts? I'm guessing that they don't have inside leads. Otherwise, they would contact me privately and be like, oh, look, I have a lead. But this is the thing. Remember, like I was talking to the young lady, and I forget her name, that was talking about how she'll never be in another relationship. First, you set the intention. You'd be surprised how many, like right now as we're talking, there are wheels that are in motion. Hey, Op Store, I love you too. There are wheels, there are things that are cranking, gears that are shifting and moving. Once you set the intention, once you let your guides and guardian angels know what it is that you want, it's starting to get really cold out here. I'm going to turn on the heat. Once you let your guides and guardian angels know what it is that you want, they start conspiring to fulfill your wishes and your needs. So if you say, I will never be in another relationship again, your guides and guardian angels would be like, okay, I'll make sure that her mate dies. I'll make sure that she only gets with people who will leave her. I'll make sure that she only gets with people who are long distance. Your mates are going to try to, your guides and guardian angels are going to try to fulfill your wishes. And they may fulfill it in ways that you may not want it to be fulfilled in. Because you may meet a person that you really want to be with, and then the next thing you know, pancreatic cancer. You know what I mean? So you really need to be deliberate with what it is that you're saying. And so Aja is saying, whatever you declare with words will become your portion. Words have power. They really do. And so Alicia is saying, Tanya needs some real folks to step up. So Alicia, you're so funny. The potential for these connections are legit, but listen, honey, like I said, listen, doors open in all different types of ways. And so Honey is saying, are you guys going to show up and support her and bring friends? And Kenya saying things are shifting. So Kenya from Cali can feel things shifting. Absolutely. Absolutely. And so Alicia's saying, I feel that the intention was just spoken and set. Absolutely. And Ivana is saying, you can manifest almost anything along with action and work being put in. Absolutely. So like once you guys, like the event that I just had in New York, that was a thought. I had like 2 weeks to plan it. And I planned it and people came out, people showed up and they got what it is that they needed. And the people who came there were like, I want to support your next event. So it's like the momentum builds up. And so, yeah, so, you never really know how things will happen and how it'll take place. I'm sorry, that's kind of loud. All right, so everybody who's on here, thumbs up the video. We've been on for 52 minutes. I didn't realize that we were going to be on this long. I wish that I had one of those things to hold the phone so that I could have been driving while we were talking. So anything is possible, but 2019, I really feel it. What are some other things that you all can do for me? Organizations, where I can come and speak. There's so many of you who work at jobs and I can come and speak at your jobs. There's so many of you who are connected to organizations, Girl Scouts, Rise Up, 123, ABC, A Better Chance, Inner City Kids. There's so many of you who your children are connected to things. You have friends who are connected to them. So just let me know, because I'm doing a webinar series with this group, this nonprofit in California called Girls Build, and it's from the LA Promise Fund is funding the Girls Build. So I'm doing some seminars, some webinars for the girls on self-esteem and self-love and those sorts of things. So some of you are connected with nonprofits, so let's do that. And then so this year, so that's another thing. So I can set it up with schools to come out to schools. And yeah, so many of you who are, so Juanita feels that this is her year of success. I feel that for a lot of us. I feel that the universe is really calling out to let us know that if we don't participate, that
things would just happen, like how Donald Trump is now president. Those sorts of things. So okay, so listen, so I'm happy for all of us. I'm going to so stand up, speak out, North Carolina. So you know what? So listen, send me some names. You know what? You guys can always email me. If you go to my website, tonyatko.com, you can email me there, and we can figure out. So those of you who are in seats, so this is the thing. So like right now, there's more than 80 people on the broadcast. Everybody who's on here, please thumbs up the video. And sorry, my stomach is empty, so air is coming out. And so Alicia's saying the utilize arts to help those who have been victims of domestic violence and sexual abuse. See, that's one of the things. So this is what I'm saying. This is something that I would love for you all to do, because you're in cities, right? Because you all are in cities that I may not have been in or don't have access to. You know what the radio stations are. You know who hosts the morning shows. You know what the call letters are. So once you figure those out, so Honey can help in California and Florida. Okay, cool. So once you guys know what the radio stations are in the state that you're in, like when I was, like V103 was the radio station in Atlanta. So V103, they had a morning show. I think at the name of the station, I believe it was 107.5, had the Steve Harvey morning show. So like something like that. So like morning show, stuff like that. All right. So listen, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to roll back home and get something to eat because I'm hungry. I didn't have breakfast today. I came out early on a mission to find this hat. And I'm happy. Oh, I feel like I'm screaming because that muffs were covering my ears and everything just seemed louder. I hope I wasn't screaming this whole broadcast. So we have somebody in South Africa. See, so in South Africa, I won't know what the radio stations are out there. So you got to let me know what the radio stations are in your area. And Madoda is saying, I just discovered your channel. You have a great personality. I'm subscribing from South Africa. Welcome to the Knockout family. Welcome. And Princess is saying, but that's not how it works though. She can't just walk up to them. I can't just walk up to who? Surprisingly, that really is kind of how it works. From personal connections. You know what? Speaking of which, you know what? The NABJ, National Association of Black Journalists. I believe National Association of Black Journalists. I need to join that organization. Okay, welcome Aja, new subby. Welcome to the Knockout family, everybody who's new here. So I need to join organizations like the National Association of Black Journalists. If you all know some other organizations that I should join, because when that girl said you can't just walk up to them, that's actually exactly what you need to do. So I need to go to the area where radio stations go for their trade shows. So like the radio hosts. So I know that the black journalists are going to have some stuff, but that's how you do it. Personal connections. Personal connections. So what is the expo or trade show that radio show people go to? I need to figure that out. Also, we're coming upon a new year, so I need to go to the Black Enterprises. Black Enterprise has a yearly trade show. I need to go to the Black Enterprise one. I need to do the Essence Fest in July. So it's like, there's only 4 quarters in a year. So within the first quarter is the Black Enterprise, and then throughout the years, then the second quarter is when we have the Essence. And so Honey is saying, right, you do just walk up and impress them. Cheryl had a good idea. What did Cheryl say? What did Cheryl say? I'm scrolling back. Holler at me and let me know what Cheryl said, because there's a lot of comments that have come through. So, wait, Cheryl is saying Cheryl had a good idea. Cheryl, are you talking about yourself or is it someone else? So Cheryl said radio stations. Oh Lord, Cheryl is referring to herself in third person. So funny. All right, so listen, everybody. Oh, 59 minutes. I'm getting out of here before the 1 hour mark. So I will see you all in the next video. Please put some requests below of what you want me to talk about. So Happy New Year, everybody. I'm going to make a video when I get back in, but I need to eat first. Okay, so I will see you all later. Good night, everyone. Goodbye, goodbye. Happy New Year. Good Happy New Year.